You can hear this. You are not alone. This is the Resistance.
Hi everyone, my name is Colin Luxinger. I go by Constantine on the Anonymous Singularity page and the Drummer Boy on YouTube. I'm here with my friend Kelly. Say hi,
Hello.
Kelly. And we're just gonna have a random conversation and talk about things. And if people want to join in through the comments, they can. And if not, they can't. It doesn't matter, I guess. So Kelly, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
I'm 30 years old. I work as a carer for elderly. I've got 5 kids, and life's just plodding on.
5 kids? Oof, that must be a handful.
Can be.
What are their ages?
My eldest is 12, 11, 9, 8, and 5.
And they're all in the same house with you?
Yep.
Oh, that must be trouble.
Can be. Can be.
I couldn't imagine how much effort you have to put in your life to take care of all those. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm sure you're a very strong woman, and I know I've known you for a while, through Facebook, so I know you're a very good person, and I'm very blessed, I think, to have this connection. So it's like a sort of spirituality. Do you have a label that you identify with, like in terms of religion or just like spirituality?
No, not really.
But I know you, like you're like me, right? It's just like, it's a general kind of like awareness that it's there. Like there's something else, you know what I mean? Hello, did you freeze up? Uh-oh, I think we lost her, guys. It's either she froze up or I froze up. What happened here? Oh, sorry everybody, we lost her. I'm gonna try to get her back. One second. She's in the UK, I'm in Canada, so the connection might be a little rough. Hello. Everyone, you're fine. So while we get her back, I guess I'll just fill you in what we're going to talk about. And she's in the UK, and things aren't going so well over there for her. I mean, for the UK in general. And we're going to get some opinions on that. Things are also getting a little crazy here in Canada. So I'm going to get my things in there. And of course, we all know America's fucked up. And we all know everything around the world is fucked up. Oh, there she is. See if we can get her back again. We know that everything around the world is getting fucked up, and it's we want to pick apart what is based from fear and what is, what is something else. Like what do we have to be paying attention to? Hello. I think you're covering your mic again.
Back again.
Okay. Bad connection. What happened there?
Don't know, it just went off.
Yeah. After I asked you if you identify with any spirituality, everything just froze. And I think we lost you for a while there.
Yep, I'm back.
Okay. So, like, do you recognize that there is like there's something else, right? Like, what is this that's going on with this, with these spirituality stuff? Like, experiences, like, it's so hard to put this into words. What do we call this? What's happening? You know what I mean? Like, these things we experience, these synchronicities and coincidences, or bumping into friends, or just these spiritual experiences. call them without putting labels on them, and how do we come together just trying to explore these things without thinking, oh, I'm a Christian, so it has to be this way, or I'm this, it has to be this way. Do you understand? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't generally put religion onto it. I just think things happen for a reason. Things are meant to go that way, so that's how they happen.
Yeah. It's like I had a conversation, like I've been having some conversations with atheists, right? And it's more like a lot of them I talk to, it's they don't believe in a single entity as much as it's like just like a general consciousness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like it's the same time, it's like they're still accepting that there is something else. You know what I mean? That there's the mind, body, and spirit. So
yeah,
like
I definitely believe that there's something else after this life.
Yeah, and like I just feel like we're all busy. Like this other side is just so complex and mysterious, and there's so many facets to it, and it's tailored to us as individuals, so we can understand it, right? So, I mean, how do we get past our own perceptions of what this is? Just like everything else, like there's just so many sides, and it's so hard to explain what I'm trying to convey.
Yeah.
Like how do we unify? What do we call it? How do we get rid of labels without going into another label?
Very hard.
Like what do we do?
I don't know really.
And that's just like everything, right? That's what it comes down to, I think, with what's happening.
It comes down to your own decisions and choices sometimes.
And but it does that also apply to the real world? Real world, what's happening right now? You know, that mentality. Like,
yeah, everybody's got an influence on what happens around you. Some people are just too scared to act upon that, and they'd rather just sit back and follow.
We kind of go into groups too, don't we? Like,
yeah,
we have similar
social
ideas.
groups and stuff like that.
Similar ideas, I think, and then instead of just like exploring our own, we just seek into other people's ideas. And then, like, you know, we form these groups, and then we call this group under one name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we're still inside these groups, and we still have our own ideas. So we have people on the left not agreeing with Antifa or SJWs, or people on the right not agreeing with the alt-right. You know what I mean? It's sides within sides everywhere we look.
Yeah.
How do you think is a way that we can sort of break past these walls that we're setting ourselves up behind?
Find some common ground. That'd be a good start. And then just like build on it from there, and then everybody put their own ideas together as well. Everybody can, and then see what kind of thing comes from it from there.
Do you think it comes down to what a person feels inside of themselves? Like, of course, like if a person's conflicted within themselves, do you think they can honestly put love, like that kind of love, out into the world, like that connection? Like to the most potential they have.
Yeah, if they put their mind to it properly, yeah.
Yeah.
If they're open-minded enough, you can do anything.
Yeah. Like personally, I believe that it's all about self-love, and also going back to the spiritual side. I believe it's a path of self-love and recognizing the spiritual this side.
Yeah.
Because to me, it just comes down to fear and love, right? There's this, you know, people on the left and right and blah, 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 and I don't care about any of that. It's just, to me, I just see it as fear within yourself and fear within the outer community. Like, we don't understand things. So we're, instead of, you know, reaching out, we get defensive and we build up these. I think we can never truly try to help people or understand people until we try to understand ourselves.
Yeah.
And like, is that something you can agree with?
Yeah, definitely.
And it comes like, that just comes down to these labels too, that's why I brought it up earlier, these labels of whatever we identify as. Because really it doesn't matter, does it?
Everybody's a person at the end of the day. Shouldn't be no specific labels.
I think everybody's a person, and, you know, everybody needs love, right? That's what it comes down to. So,
Definitely.
so why should we let these labels that we define ourselves with really separate us, right? Why should we let that happen?
We shouldn't really, but some people are just too governed by the labels that they just get stuck in that rut and they don't get out of it.
You think we're scared?
Yeah, definitely. A lot of people are.
Scared to be ourselves, or to become something more, or
Both, I think.
yeah. You think there's a system in place to keep us in this fear?
Yeah, definitely.
That this just some worldly system that, you know, is designed through TV or whatever.
Yeah.
But how much do you think that system is influencing us to this day? And how much do you think is just seeds that have been planted and now it's just us? You know what I mean? Us oppressing ourselves right now, making our own oppression. And making these reasons to become oppressed.
I'd say it's about 50-50. I'd say it's the cells and the system being planted. And the fear of not knowing what the future holds.
I think it's about 50-50 too. Because it's not just about the system, it's about that fear within ourselves, right? To love. To love. Because, I don't know, I think, because each of us as individuals, we're special people, right? And we've all had this such a complex life with these experiences. It's built us, right? So I don't know what I'm saying. It's just, we all need this love, and we all have these labels that have built us, and we shouldn't let these labels separate us, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I've had some experiences, and I've been labelled some stuff in the past, and I try not let that get to me. I try rise above it and still be me. But sometimes I do have bad days where it don't work, and then days where that's like, I do feel like I'm myself. So I think it goes depending on your own personal feelings and experiences itself as well.
I totally agree. Yeah. And you've known me for a long time, right? So you've watched my struggle as well. And you know I go through the same stuff. Being the person who I want to be, which is, you know, gears towards the spiritual side of life. And I still go through this shit too, right? So it's not just a battle where it's click off, all of a sudden you don't have these problems anymore. You don't have these feelings. It's more of a battle of recognition. Like, you recognize this within yourself, right? I just think it's so important to not give up. And
definitely.
To continue on, like, despite all this fear and all this shit that we see around the world and all these things that we're experiencing.
Yeah.
While we go through this daily grind of life, right? And, you know, you taking care of your kids, and I'm not saying that's a daily grind, but, you know, it probably it's hard for you, right? It's hard.
Yeah, there's times,
But it's your life, right? That's what you do.
Yeah.
It makes you happy, and that's the point, right?
Definitely.
To get through everything and to find that happiness within it.
Yeah.
It's because that's why we exist.
Yeah.
We all have a purpose. And to me, I want to be out doing what I did before, where it's just walking, but instead I'm trying to balance this the social life, like going to work and dealing with all this stuff, while trying to become some sort of, you know, spiritual person.
Yeah.
And we all have our struggles, and I think the key to connecting between us, instead of focusing on these labels and stuff from these definitions that we've made through our life that we've experienced. Instead of focusing on that, we can focus on the fact that we all have had a life and we've all had these universal feelings spawned from these individual experiences. You know, like we all feel pain, we all feel love, and we definitely all feel fear. And we're letting that fear, you know, control the way we see ourselves and control the way we see others.
Yeah.
So what's going on in the UK right now? Can you give me a bird's eye view?
There's been Manchester bombing a few weeks ago at the Ariana Grande concert. There were 22 killed and 59 injured. Then there's been the fire at London, which Tower Block burnt down. A lot of people died in that.
And that was that wasn't even a terrorist attack, was it? That was just negligence, wasn't it?
As far as I'm aware, yeah, because there was some on news about it where they didn't have the proper fire hydrants in there to attack the fires if it started. So there's a big investigation into that at the moment. And then there was a stabbing as well a couple of weeks before that. So it's like all this that's going off, and I'm thinking, I've got kids in this world. What if where I am, the next place to get hit, and one of my kids loses their lives? You know what I mean? That's the fear side of things.
No, that's scary. I can't. That's scary.
Yeah, 3 attacks within a month from England, and it's like, wow, what the hell's going on? Yeah.
Have you ever thought about leaving?
Well, where I live, actually, it's quite a quiet little town, so it's not one of the bigger towns what everybody knows of. So we are kind of hidden off the radar kind of thing. But then again, having said that, we're next door to a big place that's well known. So it's like, are they going to spread out and branch out that way kind of thing? So things do go through your mind, and I have thought about going, but it's like you look at other places like Syria and stuff that's happening in America as well, and you know, like Palestine and Iraq and all that, and you think, well, really, where is a safe place to be in this world right now?
And then in the meantime, we have, you know, females fighting for, I'm not saying females, I shouldn't say females, I said feminists, sorry, third wave feminists, you know, fighting for shit, and we have, you know, race tensions higher than they've ever been.
I mean, like at the moment, we can't even fly our own flag in our country because we've got that many Muslims and stuff coming and refugees that are over there that if we fly our flag, it's classed as racist against them.
You can't even fly out.
Can't even fly our England flag because it's classed as racist to the refugees. And
That's
that
great.
kind of gets me annoyed because it's like, well, we're in our country, why can't we fly our own flag? If you don't like it, then go back to your own country kind of thing. I know that sounds kind of racist, but
feel free to speak your mind. This is a free platform.
Like, it really gets me annoyed because when us British can't do what we want to do to support our country because the refugees coming in and spoiling it all for us.
And imagine too, there's is there districts, refugee districts?
Yeah.
And you can't really as a woman, you wouldn't feel safe walking through those districts, would you?
Hell no.
No, because there's recordings and stuff, they wouldn't get it. Listen, a lot of people they get me confused as well because I'm as a Canadian, my country, I believe we have room for refugees, and I believe there are real people that need real help. I also believe that there is a danger within that, and I recognize that danger. You know, I'm familiar with a lot of things, and it's just the thing is you can't expect to fit all bunch of people into one little place and not have that sort of danger with the Quran. And I hope I don't offend anyone when I say this, but there are two books to it, right? Like 2 parts to it. And
thousands on the way,
and it's pretty much one's peaceful and one's not so peaceful. So you have this group that follows peaceful, and you have there's just so much complex things, and I can't blame you for not feeling safe. And I certainly wouldn't say don't feel fear, because sometimes that fear might keep you alive, right? If it's that intuition, if it's like that, hey, I better not go down this street today. And wow, that is scary. And it's just like the way things are escalating. It's almost like you can see this whole agenda playing
Life
out.
just seems to be going so crazy right now. It's really weird how it's happening and what's happening and things that's going on around it. It does take a lot to like kind of comprehend in your own mind, like, whoa, what the hell's going on? And trying to make sense of it, you'll have better chance spotting fog.
Yeah.
You've got no chance of trying to make any sense of it.
Yeah, and about those districts too, like that's those districts that women can't even walk down without feeling unsafe. Those are stuff that the mainstream won't even report on, right? Because it makes their agenda, it makes the agenda look bad.
Yeah,
And
as long as they're looking good in their eyes, they don't care about the repercussions and the consequences for everyone else.
Mm-hmm. And once again, I hope nobody misunderstands me, and I'm just pointing out the facts. Like that's what's happening. I'm not saying anyone is, please don't think that. This is what is actually happening around the world, in Paris too. And it's just so important that we don't let that fear, I think, that's happening control our perception of a whole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, what's the point? When does the point where we let that fear lead us into attacking? And does that attack involve innocence? You know what I mean? Like what are we escalating into, and what is this plan? I have my auntie's married to a pastor who I met during the first part of that journey I was on. And he started off like, I was really interested in what he had to say, but then he got into really anti-Muslim and stuff. And this was when I first started, so it was years ago. And he got into this really like fearing kind of talk, like, don't let them in and stuff.
Yeah.
And that, to me, it doesn't seem right, because that fear is, as a Christian, that fear is exactly what I feel goes against the main teaching of love, right? It's just, it's love. So, as a Christian, once again, I'm just bringing this up to talk about this point. But as a Christian, it's so important to me that I don't let that perception, that fear of what's happening, alter how I see a group as a whole. Because maybe one day a Muslim person may depend on me, right? May need my help to save their life. And what if I don't save them because I fear, right? What if I let that fear affect that decision in my life? And then that's on my soul.
It's just like with any race of people, though. There's the good ones and then there's the bad ones. It doesn't matter whether you're American, whatever country you're from, wherever you're from, whatever part of the world. There's always good and bad.
Yeah,
there always will be.
Yeah, in everything, right? It's the things that divide us.
You can't just go around labeling the whole of them as a whole just because there's a few bad ones.
Yeah, and sure, the few bad ones may cause massive damage, and it's to a lot of lives. But that's why it's just so important not to let that fear drive us into attacking. And because when you attack, you have the chance to hurt anyone. And I'm not saying don't defend ourselves, don't protect the ones you love, of course. There's
a difference between just attacking and defending yourself and looking after the ones you love.
Exactly. It's not based off of fear of who that person is or who that person may be. It's a fear really of I have to protect my family, right? Like this. Yeah. It's not about who the person is. It's about what you're protecting.
Yeah.
Getting onto labels and shit too, and how things. I want to know how more things are crazy in UK. Like, do you guys have laws restricting your freedom of speech, restricting words you can say yet?
Yeah, we're not allowed to say racist things. Obviously, we can't say stuff like that, and if you get caught saying it, you get screwed for it, basically.
So any sort of racial slur
Yeah, so say like someone calls you, say like because I'm white, obviously. So if someone calls me white trash and then I can't turn back and turn around and say they're black, I'll get done for it. It won't be them; it'll be me that gets done for it.
Okay,
Which
so
I think that's wrong because then obviously I'm just retaliating back and sticking up for myself. But
it's only hate speech if you're not white, right? Or it's only hate speech if you're white. Is that it? Is that
yeah, pretty
yeah?
much. But
Okay.
if an Asian, it's like I've been called that loads of times and I've reported it to police of racist comments and they've just said, oh, well, what happened? Told them what's happened. Well, what can we do? We can't do nothing. And it's like, yeah, you get annoyed at it. So it's like, right, okay. Then you'll
Well,
get put into a category then as you're the instigator of it all and it's your fault kind of thing. And it's really, it's the other way around. It's them that started it and you're just sticking up for yourself. But still, you're the one that gets into shit for it.
because as white people, we're part of this system that gives us this power, right? This privilege.
Yeah,
It's people have to understand this system isn't designed to keep one type of person up and others down. This is a system that's designed to keep everyone down, and it's a system based through fear. And it's crazy. Do you have a like? This is why I want to bring this. Do you have any labels restricting anything you can say to LGBT people? Like any words like that are not really hate speech? Like what I mean to say is, in Canada, we have this bill C-16, that it's a list of like 20 pronouns, and if you refuse to acknowledge a person's pronouns and call them by those pronouns, then you can get fined like thousands of dollars.
not that I'm aware of.
And that's just like one of the things in it. And like nowhere near, I don't think that Canada isn't anywhere near as bad as America or UK is, I think, right now. But I think we're going to get there soon. And I only think we're not there now because we don't have nearly the population America has, and we have a lot of space. There's a lot of space in Canada. So, I mean, if Canada had the population as America, it'd be just the same. It'd just be two Americas. We'd have the same troubles. And I don't know. Everything is just so damn crazy.
Yeah.
And I think people have to start recognizing that these places, these things are happening. Yes, these things are happening. Like Muslim having these districts and but not letting those things control us, like this fear. I think this is so damn important that we recognize these things.
Definitely.
Like it's not about ignoring them, right? Yes, acknowledge them for what they are, but also recognize and acknowledge that there is an agenda of fear behind this.
Yeah.
And it's meant to getting us into do some crazy shit. So they will have an excuse to control us, and they will have an excuse to oppress us, and the world won't blame them. History won't blame them, right? What do you think is going to happen? What was I going to say? I don't know. How many years do you think, like, before everything gets real fucked up, if we continue on the way we are on now? Like, if we keep this pace?
I'd say about 5 to 10 years, and then I think everything will just be obliterated. We'll have to start all over again.
I'm around the same. I'm I think 2 years before things get really kind of to the height, and then a few more years before things blow up.
Definitely.
And by blowing up, I don't know. That could mean anything. That could mean either for good or bad. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll recognize this.
Hopefully for the better.
And that's why I also brought up the spirituality in the beginning, because I think it's so important that we get to this other place in life. Just because it's so much easier to recognize this fear. And this is just from what I've experienced. It's just, once I've experienced what I did on that walk, I just see things now as just, this is dumb. Excuses, you know what I mean? Like these things happening, this is dumb. And I think of everyone else, it doesn't matter how you get there. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how you get there. But as long as you take a step and start exploring this, and like it's so much easier to say, hey, the problem is fear, the solution is love.
Yeah.
Start with yourself, love yourself, and then start loving the people around you. Start recognizing the things around you.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a personal question? Kind of personal.
Go on.
How do you deal with depression and shit? How do you deal with those feelings?
I don't.
You just let them fly?
It's kind of hard. There's days where I will talk to someone about our feelings, and then there's days where I just sit on my own and just get a few drinks, and drown it that way. But dealing with it on a whole, my head is so screwed up with the experiences I've had. It's going to take a hell of a long time for me to get anywhere back to where I used to be. But like I said earlier on, I do have the good days and I do have the bad days, and I think I have more bad days than good days.
So do you spend a lot of time in the past?
Yeah. It's the biggest thing for me at the moment is trying to figure out a way how to stop living in the past and start moving forward. And being grateful for what's here and now instead of dwelling on what's already been and gone.
I'm wondering though, like how many things, I wonder, because I do the same thing. I spend a lot of time on regrets. This is what I've discovered. When, instead of thinking about the what ifs and the whys or whatever, because we think about our regrets and we tend to keep thinking about all these situations, right? And all these things revolving around this regret. And a lot of the time we spend in our past, it's all centered around this regret. Yeah. And we tend to forget that we've loved things in between that regret, that we've lost things. We don't remember some things. Like how much things have we stopped doing that we love that bring us happiness because of certain regrets. So I find that if we go back and we take the time to face our regret head on, accept it for what it was, what it is, because it is, we can start to remember the things we've lost.
Yeah.
Like, maybe you like to draw, or maybe you like to write, or maybe you had some dreams. You know what I mean? There's things we've lost that we need to discover again. And that's what I kind of discovered at the very beginning of this whole thing. And that's why I'm doing these videos, right? It's just, this is all part of my dream that I lost. Kelly, I think you're an amazing person. I really do.
So are you?
I'm very blessed to have this connection, and you're a great person.
So are you? Thank you.
Everything that you've done in your life has led you to this exact moment with you and me talking right now, right?
Yep.
It's brought you to this place. And whether you did those things or not, it would have brought you to this place anyways. Who knows? Maybe it would have been a few years from now. Maybe it would have been a few years earlier. Maybe it would have been someone not me, but you would have been in this situation. I mean, these things happened. You've done them. I think it's time that, you recognize that you are this beautiful, complex person that has had this experience that has made you stronger.
Yeah.
Right? And I think it's start remembering that and the things that you like doing, and maybe try to experience those things with your kids. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're not alone in this world. You and I, we're not alone either, and we don't have to suffer alone. And we're all in this together. We really are as humans.
Yep.
And I hope that you feel that you can talk to me when you need a chance, all right?
Definitely.
Cool. We got a lot of love in this world, I think, that we don't recognize. Me too, man. There's a lot of stuff like, there's just so much that I missed. But that doesn't matter, because now that I know I missed that, I can pay attention to what's ahead, right?
Yeah.
And you can too. And I think it's about time that we wrap this up. Yeah. And thank you so much for coming on with me, talking with me. I really enjoyed it.
Me too.
And be safe. To be loser, we might have lost her. Everyone, if you've joined onto this broadcast, thank you so much. That goes to everyone, man. You don't have to suffer alone. We are in this together. We're going to have to start facing on who we are and what we did, and accept those things for what they are, because they do exist. They have happened. We can't let those things stop us from remembering the dreams and the love that we've had. Start finding those things again. Start exploring yourself again, and build yourself up to more. Because yes, you were watching this in this moment right now that the universe has guided you to. You're beautiful and amazing. And you've had this complex life, and it's made you strong. Let's stop forgetting things, and let's stop paying attention to what we've done. Accept it. We've done it. And you don't have to cry alone, because there is love around us. You just have to open your eyes and see it. And see that there is more to this life that we can reach out to right now, in this moment, the spiritual side of life. And you can label it as whatever label you want to label. But we can all know that it's here. And it's time. Because this world needs a change, and it starts within ourselves. And you can do it. It can be a beautiful fucking life if you want it to, and it can also be hell. It's creating heaven, it's creating earth, and it's made all by you, because you have this free will and choice and power. Happiness is creatable, so create it. See you later.